Good evening, good evening, good evening. What a great day to be alive. What a great day to be a Christian, man. Uh, Something that saddens me, dog, like that gets me. Number one is how Satan got it in people's minds that they can desecrate God's, workers, disciples, pastors, ministers, you know. And don't get me wrong, man. Yeah, a lot of human beings got caught out being a human being. Okay, cool. But truthfully, it hasn't been a lot of. It's just it's in one city. It may be at least 100 churches, right? Small, big, probably five or six vast churches. Then you got about 50 little churches. You know, all kinds of. But anyway, so meaning for the one or two people or people that people find out that they doing XYZ, boom, okay. And a lot of the times how that's even done is because it's so many, well, not so many, it's there's pastors that became a pastor because they did the right answer in school. They went to Bible school or Bible college and you know said the right answers and things like that. They were already smart in school and things like that. So they never got a full relationship with God, like a real working relationship, you know. So it's a lot that can talk, this stuff, but they haven't made it their lifestyle. So that's the reason why they can get caught out. Satan can come in and tempt them with certain things and stuff like that. And but at the end of the day, it still hurt how society or the people that's led that Satan can get in their minds and make them congratulate the fall of pastors and and things like that. Now, the part that gets me is when it's home. Now, those are pastors on TV and all of that stuff like that. TD Jakes and they forever trying to shoot guns at all of them. But when you have people that you know for a fact that you talk to, see, come in contact with, and they are working the will of God. Like they are fired up for Him. They do everything. You know what I'm saying? You haven't seen them cuss up. It's people like, and I know everybody that's listening to what I'm listening to, what I'm talking to, knows a person, male or female, at least once in their life that they have seen that does their utmost uh, 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 their they do the not even the best they can. They're succeeding at doing what God told them to do, man. They know that Bible to and fro. They stay prayed up. They stay in the church all the time. You never seen them cuss a person out, or even in the conversations bear to that a little bit. Then you see how they just stare clear, like they swerve that junk, man, and they just laugh it off and keep on. But no, and they hit you with some word after that and keep it moving. But they don't never, like people. We know people like that. Now the part that saddens me is when those people, because Satan is at war with them every day, every day. He's always at war with them. He's always, because that's one of God's chosen and that's one of God's soldiers. So he's gonna always be at them, you know. So and it hurts my heart when he finally wear one down. And now they're talking like the rest of everybody else. Like they're at a point in their lives, they old and they just wanna do them instead of with God. And and see the crazy thing about it. We think about this, right? Satan, number one, was always taught back in the day that the number one trickery that Satan does is make us think that he don't exist. That's number one, right? Number two, he wants to let God know that we are fallible people and that we're not what he think we are, you know. So then for and the crazy thing about it, he doesn't have a whole bag of tricks. Like he don't. It's always the same trick, and it's always like think about this, right? Jesus, he tempted Jesus, right? He tempted Jesus. Now this is the thing. He knew who Jesus was. He knew that Jesus was Son of God, and he knew that Jesus was one of the highest entities, that he can go up against. He knew this. So being that he knew that, he tempted him 3 times. So out of his 3 times, you gotta know he came with his best fireworks. He came with because he knew who Jesus was. He won't like us. He knew that. So he knew to the point that he didn't even send his minions. He came himself. So, and the only power as you see, matter of fact, let's go to that. Let's go to that. Let's go to that. Let's go to that. Because it's in Matthew 4. Look. It said, then Jesus led up of the Spirit into the wilderness to be tempted by the devil. And when he had fasted 40 days and 40 nights, he was afterwards a hungered. 40 days, 40 nights without drinking or eating. And when the tempter came to him, he said, if thou be the Son of God, command that these stones be made bread. Because he knew that he was hungry from fasting. And he answered and said, is it is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of God. Okay. Now, he tempted him with what he wanted, what he thought he wanted the most. Because of the situation he was in, what he just did, he came with that. So that's like when your bills and late, your money ain't right, so he gonna come tempt you with ways to come up with the money, So okay, now if yeah, you hungry, you gonna come up with ways to, all of that. See, so and I know what I'm saying is cliche. We done heard this before. This is what Satan will do. Then the devil taking him up into the holy city and set him on a pinnacle of the tabernacle of the temple, and said unto him, if thou be the Son of God, cast thyself down, for it is written, he shall give his angels charge concerning thee, and in their hand they shall bear thee up, lest at any time thou dash thy foot against a stone. Jesus said unto him, it is written again, thou shalt not tempt the Lord thy God. So this time, he put him in a danger and said, well, he didn't even put him in a danger. He took him up on the highest part of the temple and told him, jump down because God ain't gonna let you die. He would send angels and carry you. Just go ahead and jump. Okay? Smoke that jump one more time. God ain't gonna let you die. He know who you are. Cuss him out one more time. God gonna take care of you. He gonna take care. Just do this one more time. Right? Take, jump out there. He got you. Since God got you, he understands who you are. You one of his. You can do that. He'll take care of you. All you gotta do is repent. He got you. Again, the devil took him up into an exceeding high mountain and showed him all the kingdoms of the world and the glory of them, and said unto him, all these things will I give thee, if thou wilt fall down and worship me. Then said Jesus unto him, get thee hence, Satan, for it is written, thou shalt worship the Lord thy God, and him only shalt thou serve. Then the devil leaveth him, and behold, angels came and ministered unto him. Okay, so now, the last attempt, all this stuff out here can be yours. It's already his, right? It's already his. All this stuff out here will be yours if you fall and worship me. Now think of this, man. God allowed us to make everything on this planet. Everything, every molecule, every mass, every element to form anything to form anything. But Satan gonna tell him, if you worship me, I can give you what's God's property. I can give you all of that. And we oftentimes hear it in entertainment and everything, that people selling their souls and telling, for fame and fortune and cars and houses, all the stuff that God owns. All the stuff that God would give you anyway. Anyway. So that's like if you do what he say, then he's gonna give you what everybody else got. That's the three hard balls that he done threw Jesus. But like when I explain them or when I read them, it sounds like won't nobody fall for that. That was weak game. You take me all the way on the top of a temple and tell me jump down and God gonna catch me. Just do it. Just jump with the faith that God is gonna catch me. I'm gonna just drive this car into this wall. I know he gonna make sure that I stay alive. Like that, it doesn't even make sense. But Satan, that's the toughest Satan had. But it's used on us every day, all the time. Different situations, same tactic. You hungry. You need money. You down on your luck. Stuff ain't coming through. You fasting. If you curse God and rock with me, then you'll always have bread to eat. You'll always have money. You'll always be able to go to any restaurant you want to go to and eat God's food. Drive God's car. it's God's. So then if you worship me, then I'm gonna give you. And it's crazy because it was all materialistic stuff, except the middle one, except tempting him with your life. Just throw your life in the frying pan and gamble it because God gonna take care of it. Now listen, man, I was one. I was one. And somewhat on a scale, ever so often, because I gotta think about this. Let's say somebody cut me off, or somebody do whatever on the highway, or you know, or I catch somebody despitefully trying some things in my face. Woo, woo, woo. Now, if I think for 1 second that I'm the only person with a gun, I'm the only person, you know, that is willing to fight. I'm the only person that's willing to stab or shoot or is I got to be crazy because it's other people that want it. It's getting done to people every day. So to even engage in those type of things, I'm gambling my life every time. I don't have to come out right. It's many people that do not come out right. So it's like it tempting. It's tempting God. It's tempting them. They got fentanyl in everything now. Relapse, smoke some weed, could die right then and there. It's fentanyl in everything. Relapse, drink something, somebody spike it, die. Like so, but now going to men, thorough men of God, you know, those are the only things Satan can. And what I see that the one that he uses the most is being fatigued in spirit, or being stagnant or complacent in the spirit, not using God to move to new heights, to get new trails and tribulations, and to have new testimonies for newer things, because don't even do anything no more. Don't put your mind into a business, or don't put your mind into elevating this, or let's do something new with the church. Let's do this and reach out to these people now. Let's put a whole nother organization to that, and then pray on it that God bless that organization and woo woo woo, because that's moving to new heights. That's having to lean on God more. All right, we this church been here a long. Let's get a whole another. That's why they get bigger church, and I don't knock it, because all you doing is trusting God to do more. So that means you gotta stay in line so that blessing happen. So, boom. Oftentimes, with how he get it is that I see how number one, being having that thou shalt not judge thing misconstrued. Number one, and when Jesus talked about that on the Sermon on the Mount in Matthew 7, verse 1 through 10, 4, 1 to 2. But I know it starts at verse 1 in Matthew 7. Thou shalt not judge. Judge not, for you'll be judged with the same measurement that ye judge. See, and then it goes on to talk about thou hypocrite. Now, this is what he's talking about. He's talking about the Pharisees, Sadducees. He's talking about those that proclaim that they know God, but are doing opposite. What he's saying right there, and there's so many people use that thou shalt not judge because they lack accountability, and they trying to soften the blow of not being held accountable. So now they use that, but what it's clearly talking about is for hypocrites. If you are the just, meaning justified by God, justified by the blood, he said that it's a pleasure that the just do judgment. Now, that means they have already seen the plank in their eye, got rid of it to get rid of the mote out of that brother eye. So now, what happens? Because you started more and more, the people that you love, and you seeing that they stayed away from you so long because your purity, your justification is making them look bad. And now they're going to be mad at you and stay away from you, tell you, and then I'm watching them win with that because they want them around. They don't want them to not feel loved, but every time they come around, they get. I remember one time, I was walking so stern with God, and dude said, he said, man, I hate coming around you, Pop, man, because when I come around you, it's like I get out of the mouth of babes, you'll be convicted. He said, I feel conviction all over me, before, just by being in your presence, right? So some people don't want the conviction. You can't judge me. You being convicted. That's why you're mad. That's why so now what happens is the man of God dilutes himself just to come around or have people around because it's lonely. It's lonely when you walk this walk. Satan has the majority of the people. So it's lonely. But it's not in scripture to be lonely. That's what fellowship is for. That's why it says iron sharpens iron. Sometimes we feel so high and that you want to be around a person so much that you taint yourself just to be around. That's one. Then the number two is watching how everybody else is having fun in sin. I can give you all this if you worship me. Not remembering that the stuff that they having fun with is God's. You can have fun the same way staying with God. But it just looked like they doing so much. I'm tired of living for him like this. Like I'm tired because make it seem like the grass is so much green on the other side instead of look. That's why it's always say, sit back and look at what you do have versus what you don't have. Look at what you do have. Look at what's going on. Like a lot of the people that I know of that really stood fast in God and really was doing what they doing, they don't go to jail. They don't know what it is to be in jail. They don't know what it is to be, harassed. Well, maybe harassed by the cops every once in a while, but most of the times they don't know what that feel like. You know, they it's a whole world that God shelters them from just by them staying in on the right side with God and doing his word and doing his rules. But Satan can make them feel like they missing out on something. Same. He don't change it up. And now this is the part that really hurts. Once he get in and cause them to slip, they don't get back on the horse. And if they do, they don't get on it the same way. Now they altering the word to justify what they went through. Now they sounding like the rest of the world. Because now they feel ashamed to even pump the gospel the same way because they have faltered. That's Satan. That's Satan holding you down. Don't even want to commune no more. Don't want to fellowship no more. They just want a little small group of people that they deal with, isolating themselves. That's Satan. That's Satan. Don't even run their household the same. Don't feel like they supposed to be able to. That's Satan. That don't be hurting, man. Especially especially when it's somebody that I look up to, man. Like, oh, and I know I suppose that God is God, yeah. But He has people, man, that really do what He asks them to do, and it makes them like it's no person. Just like it said, we are the light of the world. You don't take a candle and put it under the bed. You put that joint on top so it can light the whole room, get rid of the darkness. He takes his people and do that. So when that light is sitting on that dresser, you don't look at the dark intentionally. You drawn to the light. And Satan tried to put that joint out, and when he put it out, it hurt. But for those that really, really love them and really, really, admonish, man, you can see past that. And once they get back on that horse, you still love them the same. You still rock with them the same. You know, that's all I got to say about that, man. Satan only got three. That was his toughest fight right there. That was his toughest fight. That's exactly how he gonna come. I'm gonna keep making these as long as God is not mad at me in Jesus' name.